Hey guys, I'm Rich from NeoWin. Today we're talking about Windows 10 for PCs, build 14.3.16. All right, so there's a lot to talk about here. I'm going to go over as much as I can. I'm also going to make some other videos along the line where we can delve into some of the more important features a little more. All right, so first of all, I just want to mention they didn't change the start menu. If you there's a sway floating around somewhere out there where they're asking for feedback of possible start menu changes that they're going to do in the anniversary update. They haven't done it yet, so there's no need to freak out. We can go into tablet mode and we can see this. We go into all apps, doesn't take up the whole screen. Pretty standard as it is. All right. So let's get out of tablet mode. Now, I also noticed there is a new app, Test Taker. I don't know what that is. I didn't put it there. But when I open it, it just crashes. All right. So that's just, I mean, it's an insider build. So there's kind of wackiness in there all along the way. Now, starting off, we have Bash. All right. So I'm going to show you how to install Bash. And you can see right below settings, there's a Skype UWP preview, which we're going to get to. So we got to search for Windows features. And if you didn't know, you have to put your PC into developer mode to get this to work. You can do that by going to settings, update, and then for developers. All right, so we're going to go to Windows Subsystem for Linux. And like I said, this is going to be one of those things where I am going to make another video about this at another time. Just this isn't the time to really go into this. So we're not even going to restart right now, but it's a full Linux system. And it's you can do just about anything that you can do from a Linux terminal on there. All right, so more consumer-facing features, not quite developer features. There's Cortana cross-device features. Okay, so we're going to get low battery notifications from our phone once we get to a low battery. Unfortunately, this video isn't going to be long enough for my phones to get to a low battery, but you get the point. Next, we also have Find My Phone. So this is something that I wasn't able to get to work in my testing. Cortana, find my phone. All right, so Cortana's going to try to find my phone here, and it says, sure, I'll try and find your phone, but it's never actually found my phone. Now, if you look at the release notes for this build and the release notes for Edge, there was clearly meant to be a mobile build today, and they mentioned it. There was a bug with cellular data that caused them to not release it. So it stands to reason that some of the things in this build that were supposed to work with mobile, like this one, might not work. Then again, there could also be something that it's just the feature might just not be ready yet. It's a fast ring build, so there are bugs, and it's nothing to be concerned about. So moving on. Now it might come back and tell me where my phone is in a couple of minutes, but we're gonna move on from this for now. Share map directions across devices. Now this one did work. Okay, so we can go and we can say, I need directions to Terry Road. Okay, so now it's gonna give me directions to Terry Road. It's getting those driving directions. And then once it does, it is going to send those over to my phone. All right, so it's also not going to find my location, but my phone does know my location, as we can see here. So it has my route, and then had I not cleared that, right, so, and then I can pull it up right here. Now, the PC doesn't have my location because it's a Surface Pro, so there's no GPS in it. Making Cortana easier to set up on your device. Now, this is a big one that I can't demonstrate, but it's pretty cool. If you are in Cortana-supported markets and struggle to get Cortana enabled, this will automatically download the necessary speech language if needed and enable Cortana for you. Now, I have this issue with if I would be able to demonstrate this if I had if they had released a mobile build today, because I have a lot of international Windows phones, and every time I reset them or I get a new one, I have to download additional language options to set up Cortana, and it's a little frustrating at times. So this could be pretty cool. So next up, new and updated extensions from Microsoft Edge. All right, so we have OneNote Clipper, Pin It button. All right, so we're going to go to extensions here. Now that's the option, get extensions from the store. Of course, we don't have it's not in the store yet because it's not a publicly available version of Edge. Once they are publicly available, they will be available in the store. We got the OneNote clipper here. We have the pin it button. I've said it before. A lot of people got upset with me for saying this. Installing these extensions are super easy. And people got upset with me because it's easier to install an extension in Edge. I get that. It's fair. But yeah, it is pretty easy to install them here. Obviously, not in comparison to Edge, right? So we can go into extensions here, and we'll just say load extension. Going to go to downloads. There's OneNote Clipper. Select folder, and there you go. It's there. Next up, we have the Skype UWP app. All right, so this is something, it's kind of controversial in a way. You notice the Skype video app is gone. Phone app is still there. Messaging is still there. So they are planning to get rid of those apps. If you open messaging, I'm not going to show you because there's a bunch of phone numbers there, but they show you all your text messages, which they didn't before. They would only show Skype messages. But they do say they're read only. So that they're ending Skype support in the messaging and phone apps, which is okay, I guess. So here's the Skype UWP preview. There's not a lot here. I don't love the design as much as I could, but that's what it is. And they're killing the Win32 version of the Skype app, at least for Windows 10 machines. All right, so there's not a lot to show there. It's just a Skype app. All right, so we also have updated Emoji. So there's nothing incredibly exciting about new Emoji, but we can see what's there. Right, slightly new design. I gotta say, it does look a little better. All right, the old Emoji, it was a little dull. It was a little dull. So we can say it's a little better here. They still don't include the middle finger emoji, which honestly I think they should. Apple does it, and people seem to like it. I like being able to flip off my friends through text messages. Right, that's what it's all about. Flipping people off through text. So we also have Action Center improvements. We can now set priorities for notifications. So that's in settings here. We do that by going to settings, system, notifications, and actions. So now we can click on an app here, right? We can choose how many notifications are visible in the Action Center. So that's helpful. There we go. That's helpful because too many notifications can really clutter up the Action Center here, especially when you don't have a whole lot of real estate there. Right, so we can also set the priority, top, high, or normal. Right, so normal, high, or priority is what they listed it as, so it might not stay as top. But it's good because there's some apps that you want to get notifications from, but you don't necessarily want to see them all the time. Like Photos might have something to tell you one day, but let's keep that one as normal because, hey, do I really need notifications from Photos all the time? So another new setting that we have is new personalization options. We now have the option to set a dark theme, all right? So that will be under colors here. All right, so it's light or dark. This is something that we have had in Windows Phone. The store is also going to be dark here. This is something we've had in Windows Phone since Windows Phone 7. You can see I've got my Lumia 900 here, and you can set I've just set it to dark. There it goes. It takes a little while. It's a single core processor, but it happens, all right? This has been a feature for a long time. It's great to see it on the PC now. It's something we've actually had on the PC for a while. If you knew how to do registry changes, but you don't get the toggle like that. It just kind of sets it to a dark theme. It's a great little personalization enhancement. Another thing they did is split up these two settings here. Show color on Start, Taskbar, and Action Center, and then show color on Title Bar. Title Bar was something that we didn't really have before because previously all we had was one setting for Start, Taskbar, Action Center, and Title Bar. So it gives you a little bit more customization options, which is always nice. All right, so there's a new PC access experience. Using the new Connect app, you can bring the Continuum experience from your phone to the PC without needing a dock or Miracast adapter. All right, so we should be able to set this up. There should be a Connect app here, and then we should be able to use my Lumia 950 here. All right, we're going to go into the Continuum app, and we're going to connect wirelessly. And there it is. So now this is going to connect. Okay, so we have Continuum on top of desktop Windows. Look at that. And that is my Lumia 950. These are all my Windows 8.1 apps. All right, so yeah, that's it's a great feature because honestly, it's something that I've wished I've had before. It seems like something that you would look at and go, why would I need that? But it's something that I've just wished for before, and it's nice to be able to have that. All right, so there's virtual desktop improvements. You can now pin a window so it's available to every desktop. To do this, launch Task View and then right-click on the window you want to pin and choose Show this window on all desktops. All right, so we're going to go into here, and we are going to set a new desktop, and then we can say Show this window on all desktops. All right, or show windows from this app on all desktops. All right, so that's helpful, right? There's a lot of great stuff coming to the Windows 10 anniversary update. Okay, so new update progress experience. I got to witness this when I updated my Surface Pro to this new build. It's fantastic. Okay, updated battery settings and battery saving experience. We have renamed battery settings, battery saver to battery. Okay, since we believe a single entry point, did settings just crash on me? I believe it did. All right, so let's go to battery. Yeah, another thing is that search doesn't really seem to work. So they've also updated the battery usage by app page. That's going to allow you to more granular control over what controls the background task. Right, so Cortana, we can click it and we can say always allowed in the background, managed by Windows, never allowed in the background. And what managed by Windows is going to do is that when battery saver is on, it's going to stop allowing this app to run in the background. All right, so we don't need to do any of that right now. Updated Windows update settings. You can now set the time in which you are most active on your device by allowing active hours under settings, update and security, Windows update. So we are noticing that there are a few bugs in this build. Nothing major, but it's important that you keep this in mind if you are thinking about upgrading to the fast ring. So now we can set our active hours here, which is definitely useful. So Windows can do a better job of choosing when to automatically install updates. All right. Commenting in the feedback hub. As we mentioned at build last week, we have added the ability to comment on feedback inside the feedback hub. All right, so now they recently renamed this app. There used to be two apps, Windows Feedback and Insider Hub. They combined them all into one. So now we've got some feedback here, and we should be able to comment. There we go, we can. All right. We're not going to comment right now because we're just demonstrating the new stuff. So that's about it for what's new. Messaging Everywhere preview coming soon. We will soon be enabling a preview of the Messaging Everywhere feature in Windows 10 that allows you to send and receive text messages from your phone directly from your Windows 10 PCs. You will see options for this feature in the Messaging app on PC. However, an update is required for the Messaging app for mobile for this experience to work. More to come on this when the experience is live. Now, notice they didn't say that it's coming in a new build. I've heard a few people say that, it's obviously going to be in the next build. Not obviously, because they could, and it seems to me that they implied that it's going to be in the next update to the messaging app itself. All right, but so yeah, that's something that's coming soon. So what we fixed the issue where on some PCs with TPM chips, such as the Asus ZenBook UX31, you may have experienced glitchy audio and jumpy movement when using the trackpad due to the TPM maintenance task running constantly in the background instead of a once per boot up like it should. We fixed the issue where if you use Hyper-V and have a virtual switch configured for your network adapter, you might see an error indicator for your network adapter in the notification area of the taskbar. We polished the Wi-Fi flyout UI and fixed an issue where text entry into a Wi-Fi password field was noticeably top-aligned rather than centered. We fixed an issue for where, when using multiple monitors and full-screen apps like PowerPoint and Remote Desktop, would crash Windows Explorer. We fixed an issue where Cortana wasn't showing settings pages in the search results. Okay, but we can't search through the settings app. Just saying. All right, so moving on. We have updated the Windows Update notification after updates have been installed, so now clicking on the notification will take you straight to your update history. We fixed an issue where desktop apps pinned to the Start menu would sometimes move after updating to a new build. We fixed an issue where Update and Restart and Update and Shutdown wouldn't start an update. You know, that's interesting, that last one, because I have to say, for quite a few builds now, at least 3 builds, probably more, I haven't been able to shut down my PC at all. If I shut it down and I don't have it on a charger, it'll be dead by tomorrow because it's still running. It's interesting. If I hold the power button, I can shut it down. If I just let it die, it'll shut down. But that's about it. Known issues. The Visual Studio emulator for Windows 10 Mobile and HoloLens will fail with an authentication error has occurred. The local security authority cannot be contacted. If you're a developer and require the emulator for building apps, we suggesting moving to the slow ring and skipping this build until we can fix this issue. We continue to investigate issues with Narrator and other screen reader apps that make them unable to read selected text in the Feedback Hub, Cortana, and other apps. In Microsoft Edge, some large downloads may appear to get stuck at 99% completion. You can work around this issue by renaming the file in your downloads after closing Microsoft Edge. This workaround skips security checks on the file, so it should be used only with files from a trusted source. In some cases, attempting to turn on developer mode on. I'm reading these verbatim, even the grammatical errors. May crash the settings app. If this happens, the workaround is to use these steps here to enable developer mode. And there's a link there from blogs.windows.com if you want to go check it out and you have that problem. Some apps notifications may only show the icon. However, the full text of the notification will be visible within the Action Center. All right, so that's it. It's a really big new build. There's a lot of new features. There's more. I'm sure there's more to discover if you look around, like those read-only text messages that I was talking about before. OneDrive placeholders are still not here. We can see that my only the files that I've synced are there, which kind of sucks. But we're hoping that OneDrive placeholders show up at some point, right? So there'll be a new build soon. They're releasing new builds more and more frequently. So that should be exciting. Anyway, guys, I'm Rich from NeoWin. Have a great night.